Hi, everyone. Welcome to our fourth and final episode of Sip and Talk. This is a conversation series I've been doing with my friends at Jane Walker to celebrate women and female first during Women's History Month. Adriana isn't here, so my husband, John Mullner, is my audio-visual person, or my tech guy, my IT guy. So excuse his forehead in the shot. We're talking to Sophia Bush today, and I'm really excited to catch up with Sophia because she's one of the women that I have tremendous respect for. And but first, we're going to be talking to a mixologist named Julie Reiner, and she's going to teach us all how to make a drink in the final series. And oh, look, they see the caption, so it's good.
Does it work?
Yeah, is it working? Julia, who is in Brooklyn, John and I are in Santa Barbara. We're coming back to New York City next week, but we wanted to do something. We wanted to see a little bit of California, so we came to Santa Barbara for the day. So it's really beautiful here, and that's where we're coming from today. And we're going to talk to first Julie Reiner and then Sophia Bush. How we doing, Mullner? Do you see?
Are we pinned?
Yeah, I think we are pinned. It's up, but it's not pinned.
Oh.
Okay, hold on, everybody.
So where is the?
That's what Julia said. You guys are watching the sausage being made. Anyway, I just want you to know I washed my hair for this occasion.
Talk presented by.
I got a new outfit.
This.
Oh, there you go, pin. Let's see if that works. Yeah, nice job. Give me 5. Way to go, Mole. Okay, so we're waiting for Julie Reiner.
Who needs Adriana? Or Julia?
Oh, come on.
Oh, I'm kidding. Kidding.
We love you, Adriana and Julia.
Yes, we do.
John's kidding.
I'm kidding.
But anyway, we need to bring in Julie Reiner.
Where will I see that? Is this her?
Let's see. Hit here. Hold
no,
on.
That's 9 others.
Well, but you got to see if. Hold on.
View request. Wait a second.
No, that's not it.
That's not her.
Okay.
9 others. Her. Oops. 9 others are in there.
No. Hold on. Hold on.
How would I find that?
Let me see.
Here's this one. Is that one her?
Here, hold on. Hold on.
Nope.
No. But that person looks nice, but we're not looking for you. Hold on. It's Mixtress. Mixtress. Do you guys see?
Did you send this again to us?
Wait, hold on.
Okay, this is sort of my job.
No. If you want me to talk about the border crisis, please subscribe to Wake Up Call. We're talking about it every morning. Hello, passenger shaming.
Love passenger shaming.
Anyway, hold on. Hold on. Hey, Julia, can you help us with...
Resend. Can Mixtress resend that request?
Try...
Mixtress? Where are you?
This is why I need...
Voicing. Just give me a second there. Mixtress.
There she is. Okay, thank you, Mullner.
You're welcome.
You're dismissed for a minute. She's going to come on. This is Julie Reiner. Hi, Julie. Can you hear us? Julie, can you hear us? We can't hear you. No, that's fine, John. Don't touch that. Julie, can you hear us?
Does your volume work, Katie?
Yeah, my volume's on. I don't think Julie's is. Hi, Julie. Can you hear me? So Julie's going to teach me how to make a drink.
Can you hear me, Katie?
Yes, now I can. Hi.
I can't hear you at all.
Oh, goodness. We should have done a tech check, huh?
We can hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hi, Marshall. Okay. I can hear you.
I can't hear you.
Oh,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I can't hear anything.
Really?
Ask her to turn her volume.
Do you have your volume up? Maybe she should take her earpods out, you guys. Or AirPods, not earpods. Can you hear me?
I'm going to say, let me take her AirPods out.
Hi, Karen Reisler.
Let me take
Karen Reisler is here. Oh, you can hear us both? Okay, they can hear us, so it's good.
It's her AirPods.
Katie, can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
You can hear me, but I can't hear you.
Well, I don't know if she has AirPods on. You take your
I do.
AirPods
My
out.
volume is all the way
Take
up.
your
This is
AirPods
very
out.
strange.
Take your AirPods out.
Yeah. Yes.
We're getting a
I
lot of
did.
input.
Bluetooth is off, and
Okay.
it's still not giving me.
Can you hear me?
This kind of a problem before.
Okay. Well, you know what? Why don't you just teach me how to make the drink? Can you do that, Julia? Maybe just tell Julie that she can just show us how to make the drink. Yeah. Hi, Robin. Just wing it. Story of my life. Start over. Should we start over, you guys?
No, we're not starting over.
Yes, we can do that.
Maybe just tell Julie that she can just show us how to make the drink.
All right.
Hi, Robin. Just wing it.
Hi, Katie. I'm going to wing it because, yeah, I can't hear anything for some strange reason on my phone. But I do want to teach you how to make this delicious cocktail.
Okay.
Hi, Katie. So
Okay.
the cocktail is called the Strong Nose Strong.
Okay.
Thumbs up. All right. So the next thing we're going to add is a Darjeeling Tea Syrup, which this is something I made. I really love whiskey cocktails with tea. And so I took this Darjeeling tea and I just made a very strong cup of tea and then added equal parts sugar to the tea. So I have this sort of very, very sweet kind of tea. If you
Smells
don't
good.
have Darjeeling tea at home, you can use just like a Lipton black tea or Tetley or something like that. But we're going to go ahead and add a ½ ounce of our tea syrup.
Which is this, an ounce?
Right in there.
Yeah, okay, ½ ounce. Okay, stand by. Okay.
I'm very sad that I can't talk to you, Katie.
I know, me too.
I was really looking forward to this.
I know, me
right.
too. I'm
We're
so sorry.
Follow that up with a dash of Angostura bitters. And then lastly, 2 ounces of the Jane Walker whiskey. This is a delicious whiskey. It's aged 10.
Look up, I'm gonna take a picture.
Can I just drink it straight? Just kidding. Okay. Now she's frozen. Oh, Lord. Okay.
Hey, look up here for 1 second. I want to get a picture.
Okay. Okay, now we're frozen.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, you were frozen.
So
I
we've
did
got
that.
our whiskey. We're going to go ahead and add 2 ounces.
I did it.
Add your ice, and I see you're ahead of me, Katie. Go ahead and shake. And then you're going to top it off with 2 ounces of ginger beer.
Let me just do a little production. Watch yourself.
All right. And then for your garnish, we're going to do a lemon wheel and ginger candy right on the side there. I think
Do we put ice in here? Oh, we have ice in here. Okay. So sorry you can't hear me, Julie. We forgot a strainer, you guys. We brought everything else, but we forgot the strainer. So Julie, cheers. I'm so sorry you couldn't hear me, but let me taste your cocktail.
I'm not sure what
kind of like a
Katie.
Moscow Mule.
Thumbs up.
Cheers.
It's delicious.
Okay, now do I pin the next
No,
one?
no, no, no. It's delicious. Thank you. Thank you, Julie. Okay, now we're going to do, thank you, Julie. So sorry you couldn't hear. Hopefully, now this has been kind of crazy. Hopefully, Sophia Bush can hear me, you guys, because we're having Sophia Bush as our final guest for this segment. And sorry, Julie. Anyway, Julie's a mixologist. She's been doing it for 20 years. She came from Hawaii to San Francisco to New York, and she's opened up 3 different places. She's a real leader in this field. So we're going to be talking to Sophia, and hopefully Sophia can hear us, you guys.
Can she send it?
And let's see if Sophia's on this. Hold on 2 seconds. I know you want a drink. Anyway, it's delicious, you guys. It's kind of like a Moscow Mule. Although I was ready to drink just it straight because so far this has been kind of difficult. All right. Put this on your, we'll put it in the morning newsletter, you guys, so you can have the recipe and also tell you a little bit more about Julie Reiner. Let's see.
Is her?
Yeah, let's see.
Is that?
No. Hold on 2 seconds.
Okay.
Let's see if Sophia's on here. No. Let's see.
Did you pass one?
No, hold on. I'll get a request.
Okay.
Recipe is on Sophia Bush. John Mullner is helping me. And this is like, okay, boomer. I'll post the recipe, you guys.
Right, but...
No, I know you did, but Sophia hasn't. You're going to watch a husband and wife have a fight on Instagram Live. I'm just kidding. Here, can you get in there?
I thought I was helping.
You are helping, Will.
I thought I was doing a pretty good job.
Let's see. Sophia's coming momentarily.
I don't think she's on yet. Oh, Sophia's here. Sophia is here. Who is this? Is that Sophia?
Let's see. Go. No, hit the left side of that.
The left side? This
yeah,
side?
See if that shows everybody. No?
That's not
here.
Her. That's somebody else.
Wait, hold on. You can send a request to Sophia too.
Hold on. That's beyond my pay grade. Sophia, are you here?
Wait. Did I just see her? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Let's start over. Yeah. And you guys, we'll be right back.
No.
No.
I can get it. As soon as she...
John is killing it.
Search for her name. Search for her name. How do I do that?
Oh my gosh. Here.
Sophia.
No, those are questions.
Oh.
Go to the first one.
Go to the first one?
No, here.
Oh, there she is.
Okay, hold on. I'm so sorry.
Wow, I got it.
You didn't get it. I got it.
Just give me a high five.
We did it. Okay, thank you, Mullner. Mullner has been trying to help me. It's been pretty pathetic. Hi, Sophia.
Hi.
Oh my God. I am so pitted out from this whole thing. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you? I must say, I know you guys were having some technical difficulties, but I fully set up my bar and I made this cocktail with you.
You did?
Yes.
And what do you think? It's tasty, isn't it?
It's fabulous. And I'm like, it's 2:45 on the West Coast, but it's after 5 where you are, so I'm joining.
No, I'm on the West Coast
too. You are? Where are you?
Yeah, we're in Santa Barbara right now.
Oh, amazing. for everybody watching also, because I've obviously been reading the comments, I have the little recipe card and I posted this to my story. So, you know, if you want to get in with us, you can.
Yeah, and I'll do that too, Sophia. I'm so happy to see you. And basically, we're both working with Jane Walker because they're celebrating women, not just for Women's History Month, but they start a women, Women First campaign where they're celebrating women who have done things before other women have. And the whole idea of the campaign is to make sure that we're showcasing role models so other women will follow in their footsteps, so there can be the second, third, fourth, fifth, and so on.
Yes.
For women doing things for the first time. So Sophia, you are doing a lot of stuff. So I'm going to get right to it and we can enjoy our cocktail while we talk.
Can I say one thing before we move on to me,
Absolutely.
Katie? Because, you know, I've worked with Jane Walker for so long, you know, working on raising funds to get women elected to office and all of these incredible things. And when they told me you were a first woman, oh my God, I'm going to get emotional. I didn't expect this. So for some reason, I've just been like crying all week. I don't know if it's the vaccine numbers going up. I just feel very emotional. But they told me you were one of the first women, and they were talking about your career in journalism. And I sent Sophie Kelly, who, you know, runs things over at Jane, a note. And I said, looking back, it hits me now that I felt really confident in college to declare journalism as my major because I grew up watching you. Aww. So it's very like, I don't know, it feels really full circle and wild. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of the time you've taken answering every question I've ever had, coming on the podcast, just being like this kick-ass friend who I can text weird pictures to when I run into other people who know you. You're the best.
Oh, that's so nice.
For being like such a waterworks person over here, but I'm just really in my feelings today.
That's so nice. Well, listen, I really appreciate it. That makes me so happy because a lot of the choices I've made professionally have been predicated on knowing that, you know, when I took the job doing the CBS Evening News, I really took it because I thought it would, you know, that it would break down some barriers for women. And, you know, I was hoping that little girls and little boys would watch and see that women are just as competent and confident and are just as smart and capable as men are when it came to these traditionally male jobs. So the fact that that it had an impact makes me feel so good. I once was on a vacation and this woman came up to me and said, when you started the CBS Evening News, I picked up my daughter from school. She skipped soccer practice. I brought her home. We turned on the TV. We watched you. I told her what an important day it was for women. And I was like, that is so nice. And then she said, and we never watched you again. I was like, what? Anyway, it was very funny. But I hopefully some little girls watched me more than once. But this isn't about me. It's about you, Sophia. And I know you had an exciting announcement yesterday that you are going to be working with a new organization. And I'm excited to hear all about it. It's called Fashion Kind. Is that what it is? Yes. Tell everybody listening what Fashion Kind is and why you want it. I mean, you're so philanthropic and you do so much. But what was it about this organization that appealed to you?
Well, one of the things that I found really interesting, and I know you are no stranger to this, there's always been this sort of strange distinction between business, for-profit business, and philanthropy, which calls itself nonprofit, which I've never understood. I'm like, why are you going to tell people what you're not? Tell them what you are. Yeah. Really, philanthropy to me is for purpose. And this incredible, wonderful, MBA business brain friend of mine, Nina, we were introduced so she could pitch this idea to me in 2017. And she said, I want to create a luxury market for fashion, because let's be real, if we look at finance, luxury moves everything. If you can create a shift in, say, high-end retailer, a Net-a-Porter, a My Teresa, or whatever, then you affect high street. Then you can, change things at the Gaps and Zaras of the world, and et cetera. And I started looking at all of her analysis, and I thought, she's really onto something. And no one's talking about this. And no one's talking about the fact that fashion is the #2 polluter industry on the planet.
Oh, it's terrible.
And harms so many women. So many women work in these fast fashion, essentially sweatshops around the world. And Nina said, I think that we make a difference. And here's my idea. And Fashion Kind is a really beautiful elevated platform to support artisans around the world who, when you think about it, are essentially making wearable art for us. And if we can shift people's relationships to who they buy their clothes from, in the same way that we're trying to advocate for farm workers and say, do you know who grows your food?
Right.
You know, whose hands touch this first before it comes into your home and you ingest it or you put it on your body? And we've been working together now for 2.5 years. We were meant to announce this partnership in March of 2020, and COVID hit, and we just said, this is completely not the time. It feels inappropriate, and how are we going to support the artisans who work around the world who are getting devastated by the outbreak of this pandemic? And that's what we did for a year. And that's how I knew I made the right decision to work with Nina and to take a board seat at Fashion Kind, because someone who says, yeah, your brand would really help us sell stuff and educate people, we don't need you to do that yet. What we need is support for the folks on the ground who need it most right now. I thought I'm really in the right place.
So Sophia, give us like the 30-second elevator pitch. So you're supporting people who create clothes, and it's still luxury. Are you trying to get away from sort of so-called fast fashion, you know, where people buy cheap kind of manufactured clothes and they throw them away? And of course, that's a huge environmental issue.
Yes.
All across the world. And so is that part of the MO of this organization?
Absolutely. How do we think about relationship to items and the people who create them? How do we think about buying less but better? How do we think about what we're investing in rather than unconsciously consuming? How do we change supply chain around the world for these items? It's a very lofty goal, but we're really excited to try to tackle it in whatever way we can and to hopefully inspire other businesses to do the same. And I think the fashion industry is ready. I mean, look at what Aurora James from Brother Vellies has done in the last year with the 15% pledge, getting massive retailers to understand that they have underwritten, that they have not been underwriting and not been supporting Black creatives in the fashion industry. She's changing the landscape so quickly right now. And we just think, you know, there are many sort of verticals in this business that need that kind of passion. And we want to try to do our part too.
Well, that's awesome. Let us know how we can support your efforts and how I can amplify what you're doing and spread the word, because I'd really love to learn more about it. I'm sure people watching this would like to support it as well. You know, before we talk about your other work that you've been doing, because as I said, you've got your fingers in so many philanthropic pies, but we wanted to just mention that one of the great things about this Women First campaign is they have they've teamed up, Jane Walker has teamed up with I Fund Women to help create more opportunities for women to achieve their goals. So they're awarding grants to these businesses. I got to pick one, which is so exciting. And you got to pick one. So they get a grant and also a year of coaching to help them develop their businesses. So why don't you tell everybody listening what the business you selected, and then I'll share what I selected.
Yes. So I always joke that, you know, growing up in an Italian family, my veins are running with espresso. Coffee is kind of the thing that I chase. Anywhere I travel, I'm always looking for the best coffee shop, because it's also where you learn about the community. And there is an incredible coffee shop in Houston called 3 Keys Coffee. And the thing that really inspired me about them and about the founder, Kenzel Fallon, who's such an incredible woman, is that their sort of ethos as a business is inspired by art and jazz. And even the name comes from that, you know, the keys of a trumpet. And that the energy in the space is about artistic expression, communication. You know, when you sit in a coffee shop and you think about the sort of older stories of these writers who would create a great novel while, you know, having an Americano, whatever. I just love that they are kind of hearkening back to that and are also this really positive disruptor in the specialty coffee industry. They're providing a new perspective about how coffee can be enjoyed and consumed. It's so in line with all of the things we understand to be important about sustainability. And they're really highlighting female coffee producers around the world. And coffee is such an incredible industry and something also so at risk with this environmental crisis that we're in. And to be able to support the women in the coffee business just felt so cool to me.
That's so great. And it's located, in Houston, but do they have other shops, and can people purchase their coffee? How can we support that company?
Well, they're just in Houston so far. 3 Keys Coffee, spell out the number 3. If you look for them on Instagram, it can take you, you know, straight to their page, and you can support them, follow them, comment, order coffee, whatever. So I would suggest that whether you can support them monetarily or just with your eyeballs and your shares, because we know that it's been a hard economic year for so many people, please do so. We'd really appreciate it.
That's awesome. Okay, 3 Keys. We'll remember that. 3 Keys Coffee, everybody. All right, my recipient is She TV. It is a female-owned full-service video production company focused on telling inspiring and inclusive stories and empowering women. Of course, I've been in the media industry for excuse me, years. And I've been doing this for a long time, and it's been a very male-dominated industry. Mm-hmm. And basically, I picked She TV because I wanted to make sure that women were learning every aspect of the business, not only behind the camera, but not only in front of the camera, rather, but behind the camera as well. Mm-hmm. And they are part of the entire process from ideation to execution. They're located out here in California. I'm excited to meet some of them, and I'd love to use them in some of the work that I'm doing with the storytelling our company is doing, KCM. And you know, of course, I've done a lot of stories. I did a National Geographic documentary on gender inequality in Hollywood and Silicon Valley, and Sophia, as well, you know, mm-hmm. as you well know, more than 50% of the population is female. I think it's 50.8% of the population, and yet only 1.5 out of 10 film directors are female, and 1.4 out of 10 film writers are people of color. So, and only 14% of actors featured in top films are women and minorities. So we really need to make a concerted effort that women are involved in every step of the process so we can be better represented in the finished product. I think things are changing, but not quickly enough. So I'm very excited that She TV is going to have a year of coaching and get a grant to continue to pursue their really important goal of incorporating more business and women in the business. There's also a quick announcement I want to make that the First Women Grant Program is now open to women in STEM applicants, mm-hmm. Which is something that is so important to me and so important to get women in science, technology, engineering, and math fields where we're also very unrepresented. And so they're going to be expanding their grant program to include this category. So if you all know anybody who might qualify, please let our friends at Jane Walker know, or tell them that they can absolutely apply for a grant and this coaching opportunity, which is also so important because people need advice when they're building businesses, mm-hmm. etc. So I'm excited. Let's talk about your Work in Progress podcast, because I know you've been enjoying that. You have the best voice. I used to think I have a raspy voice, but my voice is not raspy at all compared to yours, Sophia.
Yeah, I don't know where this comes from, but
I like it.
Thank you.
So are you having fun doing the podcast? I know you've had a lot of great guests. And I wanted to mention, by the way, Gloria Steinem. I was on your podcast and I had so much fun. And Gloria Steinem was on your podcast. And by the way, everyone, it's Gloria Steinem's birthday today. She is 87 years old. She's having, I think, a party at a ranch not too far from where we are right now. So happy birthday, Gloria Steinem, because she is such a force, continues to do extraordinary things. And I think we should just drink to Gloria, don't you, Sophia?
I agree.
Here's to Gloria.
Cheers.
So tell me why you've enjoyed doing your podcast so much.
You know, I think one of the things that has inspired me as an actor, a storyteller, a creative really, and an activist are people's stories. You know, what their circumstances are, how they've gotten to where they are, what they need help with, or what they've built. And the podcast has really enabled me to, you know, take the journalism degree I was on my way to getting when I booked my first show, and take my sort of obsessed with, you know, science and how things work,
Right.
brain and passion for activism, and really combine them all into a space where we can have these unbelievably deep and funny and personal conversations that I think are such a privilege that I get to have with people like you, and open them up for the world. It's, to your point about the, you know, the advice and the coaching that people need, the access to great minds is a privilege. And for me, it's a privilege that I'm so honored to be able to spend. Not everyone can text Gloria Steinem, but we can. And the fact that I can interview her on a show, and any young woman who's ever been inspired by her work, or any young man who's thought, what do I need to learn about my sister or my girlfriend's experience, can listen to her talk about the women's movement from inception. You know, it's such an incredible thing to be able to do.
Yeah. And also I think it can really inspire people when they hear other people's stories, their trials and tribulations, their triumphs, you know, regrets, missed opportunities. It's so instructive, I think, for other people, no matter what they want to do when it comes to, you know, forging their own paths in their various areas of interest. So thank you for doing it. I know that, you know, I think podcasting, I have a podcast, as you know, Sophia, you have to come on mine called Next Question. And, you know, and I think there is something about the audio, world of audio. It's a very intimate conversation. People don't really, I think, worry about what they look like, or how they're acting, or their body language, or if they have, you know, their makeup is good or whatever. And it creates this intimacy, and it's also very intimate for the listener to have something right into their brains, if you will. And I just think it opens up to really honest and authentic conversations. So I'm glad that you're really enjoying it. And I know I love listening to you and all your great guests. And you're also, but I don't know how you sleep, Sophia, because you're doing this other stuff too. You're doing the Girl Project. You built 3 primary schools in Guatemala and Laos. My daughter went to Laos, and she says, it's Laos, Mom, not Laos. And you're a global ambassador for the Girl Project. How can people learn more about some of the things that you're doing and support your work?
Oh my gosh, well, that's so kind. You know, I really do try to share a lot on Instagram, you know, not only work that I have a hand in, but also just news that's important, information that feels important, people doing great work every day. I try to share a lot in stories, because you can do swipe up links and whatnot.
Yeah.
But one of the things I've actually been thinking about is, as we get ready to launch our 2nd season of the podcast, creating the web, you know, profile website to go along with that, and putting some of the things you're mentioning up there, because I have had such an incredible time working with such great organizations over the years, you know, whether it's been Pencils of Promise or the Girl Project, or, you know, more recently, incredible, even just local social action groups here in LA, working to get Measure J passed, working alongside the organizers of the Black Lives Matter movement. I mean, just, again, I pinch myself at the minds I'm able to learn from. And so I want to create a good hub that will make it easier for people to find those resources and see what organization lights them up that they might want to get involved with, because we don't all have the same passions, but we'll all be passionate about something.
Yeah, I agree. And there's so many, and I think this grassroots movement of people who realize that we can't look to government to solve all our problems. And there's so much. I was just interviewing Shannon Watts yesterday, who started Moms Demand. And I know you've had Shannon on your podcast, and I've known Shannon for for quite a long time since she started Mom's Demand. And, you know, you look at what these organizations have been able to accomplish, and it makes you feel so much less powerless, and it makes you feel that you can really have an impact when you get involved in some of these organizations. So thank you for what you do. And, you know, I started Stand Up to Cancer and with some other women in 2008. That was our first show. And we've raised over $600 million to support cancer research. And this was started by just 9 crazy women who were frustrated by the pace of cancer research. And so I would just encourage everyone, because, you know, I think it's what Tuesdays with Maury, what Maury said is, it's giving makes me feel like I'm living. And I think when you do things for other people and you can find your passion and you can find a cause you care about, it will just enrich your life immeasurably. So obviously that's the case with you. That's been the case for me. And so I encourage everyone to figure out a passion outside of their own kind of small, you know, their own worlds, and it will just make their worlds better. But anyway, that's my little plug to get involved. But tell me about the woman, or, you know, part of this whole campaign is inspiring women to do things. And who is maybe the woman who either inspired you or opened a door for you as we wrap up our conversation? I think that's a nice way to end things on. And it sounds like there've been a lot. Yeah,
truly. I mean, so many incredible women that, you know, I've experienced as friends and mentors in my life. I think something really that made such an impact on me in terms of showing up for women and fighting for women was the fact that I went to an all-girls school from 7th to 12th grade. I was surrounded by incredible women, unbelievable, you know, professors. And I was actually talking about one of the most impactful teachers I've ever had, just to some friends the other day, who is actually a man, my incredible English professor, Peter Goss, who taught me for many years in high school. And the thing that struck me, and I couldn't believe I hadn't thought of it until this year, was that the environment not only provided me with a community of women and teachers who were incredible women, so brilliant and so just poised and thoughtful, but the kind of man who shows up to teach all women is the kind of man who you want on your team. And so I realized that I had role models, both in terms of incredible women and also in terms of really good men. And when I really learned to look out for those kinds of allies, in addition to the women in my sort of core group of, you know, friends and coworkers, it really changed everything for me. And it was an aha moment of, oh, I learned this lesson years ago. I just didn't realize I was learning it. And when it kind of crystallizes, I think it can inform you in such a deeper way. And so, you know, my teachers, women I looked up to in school and still do, like you, Oprah. I mean, I've seen you at Oprah's house. Like, how did I wind up going to Oprah's house? This is insane. I used to beg my mom to pick me up early from school so I wouldn't miss the beginning of the show. You know, Gloria and Patrice Cullors and Ai-jen Poo and Shannon, you know, all of these women who are just out there leading the charge. And perhaps because we're both journalism nerds, I should also end with Lisa Ling. I mean, just one of my favorite minds, and what she's doing, you know, for the Asian community right now through her coverage and her resource sharing is so beautiful. And she just reminds me, you know, that no matter what's going on, you can show up in creative and authentic and empathetic ways. And I'm so grateful to all of you, really.
I think it's so wonderful that Lisa and other women, you know, Asian women are finally having a voice in the kind of discrimination and stereotyping that they've had to endure. Yeah. And there's so many misconceptions about Asian people. And I was reading how, where are you from is the worst question you can ask an Asian American person. And so I think it's a really exciting time for us to recognize some of the things that some of the dark chapters of our history, certainly, in a much more clear-eyed and with much more recognition and appreciation about how things need to change. So I think we're sort of witnessing that before our eyes. But I'm just so proud of everything you're accomplishing, Sophia. I'm so happy that I'm ending this series with a conversation with you. We're going to put the recipe and some highlights from this interview in my newsletter, which, we have a team of women who put together sort of the latest news and a lot of features and interesting items in one place called Wake Up Call, and you can have it in your inbox every morning. Go to katiecouric.com. I know you get it, Sophia, so keep reading it. And I just want to say thank you to our friends at Jane Walker for letting us, really explore these impressive women: Elaine Welteroth, Diane von Furstenberg, Reshma Sajani. Yeah, but with these conversations, I was able to interview 4 women: Diane von Furstenberg and Elaine Welteroth, Reshma Sanjani, and of course you, Sophia. So I hope that people have gotten something out of these conversations. I know I've really, really enjoyed them. And I just want to say thank you to Jane Walker and the First Women Campaign for making these possible, and also for teaching us how to make some very tasty cocktails.
Yes, I know. I feel like when we're finally allowed to have gatherings again, I'm really going to impress all my friends.
Yeah, you definitely are. And I hope I get to see you in person, Sophia, when some of this lifts and we can be social without too much distancing, hopefully at some point in the near future.
I would really love that.
Anyway, great to see you, Sophia. Thank you, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Bye. Bye, Sophia.
Bye, Katie.
I gotta sign.
You just hit the Oh, it's too late now. Hey, John.